Hello, everyone. All right. I'm so excited about today's podcast episode because I'm doing it in collaboration with Elisa Fucci. My name is Hio North, and I am a divorce and discipleship coach. And I have been blessed to be part of Elisa's inner circle. And what's so amazing and exciting, I'm so excited to announce this because I don't think I've publicly announced this yet. Is it I've hired her to be my coach? I'm so excited. And so it's just I'm just super, super grateful because everything about her background and her knowledge is what I need and what I most desire, moving forward in my personal life and in the lives and in my business too. And so one of the things that Elisa introduced when I was in her group coaching program is the concept and practice of breath work. And I didn't know anything about that at all. But as I was listening to Lisa just talk about the benefits of breath work and what it has changed and shifted in her life, I was blown out of my brains. So now some of you might know what it is. Some of you may have dived deep into it and have tried it yourself, but chances are you may not have because I think this is starting to come up in the forefront um, to use with therapy, with counseling, but more than anything, it's starting to be used with coaching, I think. Actually, I don't even know if it's being paired with coaching yet, at least not that I'm aware of. And so I just love how Elisa is just making breakthroughs and just overcoming barriers we didn't even know even existed. And so when I experienced breathwork with her, it just took one session. I was converted, you guys, totally converted. And I'm just so excited to have this conversation with her. And I actually reached out to her last week and I'm like, look, I just did a podcast episode on my experience in doing breath work, but I know I did not explain it right. And it made me realize what I didn't know. And so I asked Elisa if she wanted to collaborate on an episode in talking about what breathwork is, what it entails, what are the benefits, and why you need to hire her and get into coaching and breathwork sessions to up level where you are from to 10x to maybe even 20x or 50x. If you can't even imagine it, then that is the perfect reason for you to look into her program. And I'm so grateful that all the stars aligned and I got to now be part of her one-on-one coaching program that now includes breath work. And I just am super, super excited. So, Elisa, talk to us about breath work that I don't even know how to even explain.
Oh my gosh. I just wanted to keep hearing you talk about it because I'm like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. That is like the best testimonial you can ever receive from breathwork and from coaching. So thank you. And yeah, so my name is Elisa Fucci, and I am a relationship life coach and energy healer. And what I do is I have combined breathwork and coaching to help women let go of limiting beliefs, negative thought patterns, and emotional baggage that we don't even know we hold on to.
Yeah.
So they can finally be happy in their current relationship, in their current life, without waiting for other people to change or circumstances to change, because that's what we normally do. We're waiting around for people to change or things to change so then we can take action, so then we can feel good about ourselves, so then we can start trusting ourselves. It's all about waiting. Oh, when this happens, then I'll believe that I can do the right thing, that I know what I'm doing, that yes, like this is the right thing, or it's just taking action. So I am so excited, yes, to be able to offer those two, coaching and breath work, because the first year and a half of my business, I was like, there's something missing. I need
Wow.
something else. Like I do a lot of energy healing in my sessions before I did breath work. And I was like, yeah, I like this, but I need something else. Like, so for me, it was kind of hard to sell myself because I felt like there was a piece of me missing, a piece of
Oh.
like who I am and what I wanted
Uh-huh.
to offer my clients. I
Yeah.
felt like it was missing. And then what was it? Like maybe back in December. Yeah. I have a friend that she's on my book, Unleash Her, and she's a co-author in there. And she is a Reiki master and she's also a breathwork facilitator. And she's
Hmm.
like, "Oh, I do breath work. If you want to come and do one of my classes, I would love for you to try it." And I was like, "Sure." I remember I tried it once in one of like a live event that I went to, and it's like it was fast breathing and I hated it. I was like,
Wow.
it made me
Yeah.
anxious.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, how is this supposed to relax me? I hated it. I'm
Oh
like, this
my
is
gosh.
BS. I was like, this is breath work. I hated it. But I think it was because it wasn't under the right circumstances. We were in a
Mm.
group of like women. She didn't, the facilitator did not prepare us um, for what we needed to do. I think it was just the wrong atmosphere to do it. So it didn't click for me. And it's okay if breath work is not for you. It's not for everyone. The
Yeah.
people that do love it, oh my gosh, you
That's
will
me.
be transformed. And that's me too. Like I did her class and I was in a depressive phase. I was really down. And, I have spoken in your podcast before about my
Yeah.
depression, and
Yeah.
I've been diagnosed with depression. So I was just going through one of those moments, and nothing felt like that was working. I had no energy, and I did her
Mm.
breathwork session, and I had the biggest breakthrough. I was able to let go and neutralize my body and my emotions, and
Yeah.
I felt like on a different level. I felt
Wow.
uplifted. I saw myself as just pure light. And the moment I saw myself in that way, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Like it completely changed. And that's what breath work does. It clears up your energy, and it allows you to let go of things that you did not even know you were holding on to.
Yeah.
And it by doing so, you free up so much energy. And with that energy, you can use that to do whatever it is that you're working on and go and do it, because now you have nothing else holding you back and you see things from a higher perspective. I like to think that breath work um, realigns you with who you are spiritually. I call it like
Hmm.
a spiritual realignment, because
Yeah.
every time you do breath work and every time I do breath work, I am realigned, and my perspective goes from being only seeing what's in front of me
Yeah.
to having a higher perspective, like an eternal perspective. It's as if
Wow.
you're going up the mountain and you're
Uh-huh.
seeing things from like high up instead of like just down below and 500 feet ahead of you. That's what breath work does for me. And it's all through your breath. That's it. That's what I
That's
love about it.
amazing.
It's like,
I
it's just
love
using
it.
your breath. It's
I
free.
know it is. And I've never heard your own personal testimonial and journey of how you discover this. Like, I actually didn't know that. And so this is so fascinating. So let's talk about what it is. Like, what is it about breathing? Because we all walk around breathing, and yet I don't think we're having that transformation that you're even talking about, because you've been breathing for the last 30 somewhat years, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then this just happens like not even 2 months ago.
Mhm.
So, can we talk about like what is breath work?
Yes.
Like, like the mechanics of it and then the theory of it and like the magic of it.
Yes. So if you think about it, when we're babies, how do babies breathe? They breathe through their bellies, right? But
Yeah.
as we get older, we start holding on to things and we
Yes.
get contracted in our chest and we start breathing through our chest. Like if you want to do it right now, let's
Oh,
test it right now. Put one hand
yeah.
in your chest and one in your belly and take a
Okay.
deep breath.
Okay.
Which one moves first, your chest or your
I
belly?
want to move my chest first.
Yeah,
I want to totally
right.
do that.
And I've
Yes.
been doing breath work for 2 months now, and I
Yeah.
still went first with my chest. I first
Yeah.
moved my chest. So that try it, and you'll notice that's where you're breathing through your chest,
Yes.
and you're
Got it.
limiting so much air. And also, if you know anything, which I didn't know this before, but your stomach, your gut is your second brain. It's called, because it produces 80%
Oh,
of your serotonin, which is your happy hormone.
yeah.
So when we don't breathe properly, which is through our belly, we are trapping all that serotonin in there. And what do people want now? We want energy and happiness, right? That's
Yes.
like, I mean, the number one and like drink is our energy pill, like energy
Oh my
drinks.
gosh. I didn't even think about that. That's so
I
true.
I I take Celsius, so yes, I know like what that
Yeah.
is. Like
Yeah.
that's what in the world, that's what people want, like to have more energy so they can do more things and to be happy so they can not have stress. I mean, what is it, like 70% of the world is suffering from depression, from anxiety, and it's just any other like mental like illnesses that take over us, and
Yeah.
stress. That's the other one.
Yeah.
So when we are, the problem is that have forgotten how to breathe. So with breath work and doing it a few minutes a day,
Yeah.
what you do is you break up all the toxins that are in your gut, and you start releasing and producing serotonin, which gives you that happy feeling. Okay.
Wow.
Then what the other thing that happens is, through your lungs, we also let go of toxins through our
Hmm.
lungs. But if we don't know how to breathe, we are not releasing those toxins that are blocking us, that are lowering our energy. We think that it's through waste and urine that we release our toxins, but actually 70% is released through our lungs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we are
That's
just
so
holding on
fascinating.
to so much. And when
Wow.
we just practice breath work through our stomach and
Yeah.
focusing, releasing all that's been there, we let go of that. We have more energy. That's why breath work works, because you're just using your abdomen and breathing through your diaphragm to release the toxins, to get energy, to produce the serotonin, which makes you
Wow.
happier. Also, what I didn't know is that we have 72,000 channels of energy flowing through our bodies. We all know that we're like a battery, a walking battery, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So every time we hold on to an emotion, we don't process an emotion. What happens is we create like dams, we create like blockages in those energy pathways that are running through our bodies. And the biggest one, if you could picture your body, it has
Uh-huh.
72,000 channels, like freeways running through your body, flowing with energy. And the points where we meet are what people call chakras. You can call
Yeah.
it, like, picture it like spaghetti bowls. The biggest one is in our gut, where all
Wow.
this energy
Yeah.
channels meet. It's in our gut. And when we don't know how to breathe properly, that gets blocked. All our emotions, especially for women, we hold all our emotions in our midsection, right? That's
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
where we gain weight, and
Yeah.
fat there is a way of protecting ourselves, a way of just
Oh,
holding
so good.
on to the emotions, holding on to the pain. it is amazing what happens when we start practicing breathing through our diaphragm. What happens? We start releasing all those blockages. We start forcing energy to go through that our bodies like it was meant to do. And we stop
Wow.
holding on to it, because the moment we start blocking those energies, our bodies will fight it for a little bit, but eventually it'll give in. And that's when we start feeling sick. That's when we start contracting. My back hurts, my neck hurts. We start getting sick. And it's
Oh,
all because of emotional blockages. That's it.
yeah.
That's why breath work is so powerful.
That is so amazing just to hear you say that. And just about the energy part, just a few weeks ago, I was thinking, you know what? I really want to increase my energy. And like if I had to put my energy on an energy scale, this is just random. I'm just putting that there. I would say maybe I'm like a 4 or 5. I'm not like glued to my sofa where I cannot move. Like I can still move around and do things, but I just feel like, well, what would it be like if I can just increase my energy like up to a 6 and then maybe a 7? And so as I've done three breathwork sessions so far, and I just feel in regards to energy wise, I just feel lighter. I feel like
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna go do it, you know?
Right?
Yes. And it's easier for me to like process my emotion, but it's also faster for me to process my emotion. So it's not like I'm saying, okay, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling really, really frustrated. And I just want to get out of there. I'm not just saying that,
Mhm.
but it's like I'm just able to like process that energy and then just like let that go. And so
Yes.
I'm just now seeing this connection of like how breathwork has helped me these last like month, like to do that. So that's so amazing
It
because
is.
yeah, because who really, come on, you guys, who really wants to hold on to resentment
Yeah. And
and
it's
frustrations?
funny because we don't, the thing is that through breath work, I have discovered things that I didn't even know I was holding on to. Like, for instance,
Yes.
one time I was doing my breath work and I wanted to just release things, right? Because that's what you do in breath work. You allow the breath to let go whatever you've been holding on to. And something came up, like some resentment that I was holding on to for 21 years. I am a very
Wow.
forgiving person, okay? I think I can forgive easily, but
Yeah.
this person came to mind. And I felt, no, I feel justified in holding on to not forgiving this person. I didn't really resent the person. I just didn't want to forgive him. And
Yeah.
like it was my choice. But as I was working through the breath work, and I realized it was only holding me down, and it was keeping me
Mm.
like anchored to this person, and it was also not allowing me to see things from a different perspective. And after my breathwork session, because I was in a higher frequency, because I was able to let go of that resentment, I saw this person as a gift in my life. I
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
shift went from, I this person ruined my life and made my life harder,
Yeah.
to this person gave me the gift of life, gave me the gift of having this different life and having people in my life that I would have not had he not been there. And I almost wanted to like get the phone and call him and say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the part you played in my life. And there's a
Oh my
rule in breath work:
gosh.
don't do anything for 72 hours, because you like, that's what you want to do after breath work. You want to call people and be, oh my gosh, I love it. They'd say, hold on, don't do anything for like at least 72 hours, just, wait, because you are in such a different energy that and if it feels right after like you a few hours, then go and do it. But like, you are aligned in a different way. You're aligned with
Hmm.
in a way that most people are not. So I mean, calling this person up after 21 years wouldn't have been very good. And
They'd be like, what? Who? Are you kidding
what?
me?
Yeah, like, okay. you know, but that's how
Yes.
I felt. I finally was free from this person and from seeing things from that angle. They were not helping me. I actually felt like he came here to teach me something. So I was so grateful for that experience. This is just one of the many
Oh my
experiences I've had
gosh.
with breath work. I look at my life, and before breath work, it's like it's a fog. I'm like, how did I ever live without breath work? Like seriously, that's why I'm like, this is it. This is how I want to coach my women. I want women
Yes.
to be able to free themselves, clear up their energy, clear up their spirituality, their mind, so then coaching becomes easier. So all the tools that you learn with coaching and achieving your goals becomes easier, because you are no longer dragged down by things that are occupying your energy, your mental space, and
Hmm.
distracting you from being spiritually aligned.
Oh my gosh, I love all of that. And you know what I'm just realizing as you're sharing your own experience, and I'm just getting like spiritual chills right now, is that um is that the effects and the results of breath work doesn't just happen like it's not just limited to the breath work and maybe a few hours after. Like this becomes like a more lasting effect. And one of the effects that I am now just like having an aha moment about right now is it was just this morning. Was it just this morning that I realized that I was so grateful for my spouse's like faith conflict and faith crises, okay, from the religion and faith that he grew up in. And so when I'm hearing you say how you felt this desire to not only forgive, but to be grateful for this person that may or may not have done something that was really hurtful. Okay. I'm not downplaying that at all, but that it just gave you such a different perspective. And today, I mean, my last breathwork session was maybe like just over a week ago. And so, like today, I just had a complete shift in how I now saw my spouse's faith conflict. And like I became so grateful for it. And what it revealed to me, that it revealed my own personal blind spots, and to clean that up and to let that go,
Mm-hmm.
to and it's like, and I guess when we do have those blind spots, it's kind of like it's like you were saying, the blockages, like there's spiritual blockages, right? And
Yes.
so, and then when you come to that realization where and you're like, wait, there was a blockage here, and this is what the blockage was, but now it's gone, and now the energy can flow out more. And
Yes.
so it feels like it's just you're opening up to the truth that actually sets you free. I feel like that's what you're saying,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Seriously. I'm putting my fingers on my brain because my brain is like exploding and I'm trying to keep it back into like my cranium head. So,
Uh, it
oh
is
my,
it is amazing. It like seriously, it what I can picture of, like, if you
yeah.
can picture it, what breath work does is, I feel like all our lives we want to achieve all these goals, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we achieve them, and sometimes we keep making like the same mistake over and over, or we give up,
Yes.
or we just can't get through it, and we're like, what is it that I'm trying to do? And we're trying so hard to change ourselves, to do, and it's like it feels so hard, right, to do all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
things, like work on our relationships, forgive people, work on our bodies, start something new, create a new habit, let go of a habit, whatever it is that we're trying to work on. It just feels so hard sometimes. And what
Yeah.
I believe breath work does is it allows you to let go of what's dragging you down, let go of that weight
Mm.
that makes things hard for you, because life is not hard. Okay, what is hard is when life gets hard, when we have so much that we're carrying, and then we're trying to do things that they are easy when we are aligned with who we are. They are easy. We have divine nature within us, and we have the like divine power to do the impossible through God.
Yeah.
But when we are blinded and we are weighed down by our past, by these limiting beliefs, by emotional blockages, it becomes hard. That's why it's hard. That's why life and relationships are not hard. They are hard when we are carrying so much baggage, when we are blocked to this spiritual clarity and wisdom that we are entitled to, that we have a connection with. But if those channels are muted and muffled through all our thoughts and our traumas and our wounds, we can never really tune into that frequency. So breath work comes in and clears those channels, so then we
Oh,
can like tune into the right frequency and hear clearly who we are, first of all, and what our purpose is and what to do next. It just
oh
becomes
my
clear,
gosh.
and just, oh, huh.
Oh, okay, another aha moment. So it's just like whenever I talk about like revelation and the revelation relationship that you can have with God or whatever your higher power is, I always I always describe it as like dialing in, meaning like you're getting closer and closer and closer to the frequency where it is like clear and it's filled with clarity, right? And so I feel like that's what you're saying that breathwork does is
Yes.
instead of like taking one or two notches every once in a while, you're saying we can do 10 notches, and
Yes.
then and you're getting so much closer and closer and closer to like the clarity and oneness of your inherent frequency. I think that you're talking about the divine frequency. And
Yes.
granted, everyone has their own divine frequency, but it all leads back to the universe, to the supreme
Mhm.
being, to the God or whoever you are connected with, you know. And so that is so wow, that is so profound that it is so spiritually tied.
Yeah. And the thing is that with breath work, it's something that you want, it's a modality that you want to adapt on a daily basis. I mean, it's like prayer, like taking care of yourself. It's something that you want to do. It's like throwing the garbage every day, right? Like it's
Yes.
something that you want to adapt every day, because we are human beings and we're going to hold on to things. We're going to block things consciously and unconsciously, and it's something that helps you continuously realign, let go. Because if you think about it, like I am 38, so I've been holding on to crap for 38 years. Okay. So it's not, it's going to, this is a modality. This is something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life, because I will never be done letting go, releasing, and realignment, like realigning myself daily. This is something that you
Yes.
want to do every day. Um, because we're not perfect, so we're constantly going
Yeah.
to be triggered, and we're constantly going to be like, oh shoot, I didn't process that, oh I'm angry now, and then I'm holding on to, like, it's just the way it is, like it's, we're humans. uh
Yeah.
so I love, like, now I practice it every day, because it's like it's my daily way of like letting go, and things come to, like, things that, again, that I didn't know I was holding on to, come up, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, I'm glad I'm letting that go. Like, I, another instance that I was doing breath work, I was like, I realized that I was holding on to energy and problems from all my clients and all my immediate family members, my children, my siblings, my parents.
Wow.
And we do this. We care about people. We create an emotional cord that ties us to all these people. Like, and even if we can hold space, let's say if you're a coach, like, even if you can hold space for these people and not judge them and not make it mean anything about you and just love them, you still are tied emotionally, energetically to this person, and they take a piece of you and they take some energy. And
Mm.
I, through breath work, I was able to let go of what was being drained out of me, and regain my myself back, and just be like, okay, I love this. I love everyone in my circle. I don't need to hold on to it, to their
Yeah.
problems, to whatever
Yeah.
was draining me. And I would
Yeah.
not have noticed this. I would not have known, had I not been doing breath work, that I was being like, energy was kind of like seeping through like the cracks, because I care about all these people, but I needed to do just let go and recharge myself and do that, because we are loving people and we want to give, and that's like my nature, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same way and feel like some relationships drain you more than others, and they do. And with breath work, you can recharge yourself, let go, and recharge and realign yourself with who
Oh
you
my
are.
gosh. And can I just say that for sure with me being her client, she definitely needs to let things go. Because sometimes I can be like so intense. And so, okay, so let's talk about like experiences, because our listeners are probably thinking, okay, that's fine. But really, like, you know, like that's Elisa's like experience. But what about
Yeah.
someone else's experience? And so one of the things I wanted to do in like having this collaboration is like share my experience. Because when I would like try and write out a testimonial, it would have to be like 3 pages long, because it was there was so much. And I'm like, you can't have a 3 page testimonial. Not that we can do a 3 hour testimonial on a podcast, but I'll try and minimize that. So can I just share with you
Yes,
one of my more
please
recent experiences?
share with
Okay.
us. Like, please, I would
Okay.
love
I
our
will. And if you
listeners
have any
to hear.
questions, then you can totally interrupt me and ask
Yes.
me or whatever.
Okay.
So, I'll tell you about my most recent one. So with my most recent one, it was just about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago.
And you took one of my breathwork
It was
sessions.
one of your breathworks. It's one of your last. It could have been
Hmm.
one of your last free breathwork sessions. I can't remember, but anyway, I came in with with an intention, and the intention was, how can I increase my energy so that I want to do my business like with more intention, with more clarity, with more energy. Okay. And energy does not mean busy, busy, busy. It's just that I just wanted to like focus on it. And so that was my intention. And as I was pondering upon it, like, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I just have the wrong belief. Maybe I have to adopt a belief. Like all of these thoughts were coming in. So I was having a lot of busyness in my brain. And then this thought came up right before we started. And the thought was, what if it's something I meant to let go? So instead of like, what is something I need to bring into my inner circle, it was more of, what do I need to let go? And I was
Hmm.
like, oh, I don't really know what that is. So I thought, well, I'll just like I'll let it sit within me, right beside me, as I do with this breakfast section. So as she began this breathwork session, and it seriously was within like 5 or 10 minutes, it wasn't even that long, that I could just feel, and this is what happens. This is my experience, is I just start feeling this like tingling sensation starting at the top of my head. And it just kind of like just resonates and just goes through the rest of my body. And I just felt like something was being lifted out of me. Okay. And as I was like sitting and allowing this lifting of energy to come out of me, I knew exactly what it was I needed to let go, and that I needed to let go of my love for my spouse. And just to let your listeners know, I am in a separation right now, and we've been separated for a year and a half, but that I needed to let go of this love. I needed to let him go. And I was like, what in the world? But I totally surrendered to it. Like I didn't like fight it or anything, because I could tell that I was letting go of the love from a place of love. Right. And I was getting so emotional. Like I was like sobbing and bawling, which is why, ladies, if you do one of Elisa's birthday session, no makeup. Like wash your face, take off the mascara, like just do it. Trust me. And so I am like sobbing and crying as like this is being lifted out of me. And then I just felt this need. Actually, it was something I wanted to do. I felt this desire to say how sorry I was to my mother-in-law. And I'm going to start crying as I'm talking about this. So she passed away just a year after we got married. And I just felt like I had to say how sorry I was that I couldn't love him anymore, and that I couldn't like hold him in my space anymore. And I just kept like saying that. It's just like, I let him go, and I'm so sorry. I need to do this. Like I want to do this. And what was so interesting is I can like sense my arms like coming up to my up above me. And it was as if like I was like it was as if my arms were like embracing someone. And it was like so like magical. And and seriously, if I was not me and if I didn't have this experience and I heard it from someone else, I would be like crazy, 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 right? And so I'm just letting you know, like, this is totally legit. And it was really powerful for me to go in with an intention. But I've done it where I did not go in with an intention and something was revealed to me. So it really doesn't matter where you are. But after it kind of was winding down the breathwork session, after Lisa was winding down the breathwork session, it was like, I don't know, I just ended up just like embracing myself and just like how much I loved myself for doing this and for allowing myself to be so vulnerable. And I just was amazed at what I experienced. Like it was such an out of body defining experience that there's no words to explain. And I know that that breath work was the conduit for that letting go of that energy, you know? And it's so funny because now every once in a while I'll be like, okay, do I love him? Like, no, I don't love him. But it's not from like a place of like sticking it to the man or being angry, but it was like it seriously is from a place of love. And and I just cherished that experience that I had at your last breathwork session. So I just want to thank you for that.
Hmm. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, thank you for being vulnerable and opening up and sharing with our listeners, like your breakthrough, your experience with letting go and receiving, because that's really what it's all about. What you say, like
Yes.
breath work is about letting go and then receiving.
Yeah. It
and
totally
and
was.
and that's like it. And I know you said like there's the tingling and then the emotions came up, and then there was like, but in the beginning you had like, oh, am I doing this right? Should I
Yep.
have an emotion? So talk to me about the barriers that you have to go through during breath work, so then you can let go and get and have your breakthrough.
Yeah. I
Like,
love this question. And I think that you as someone who knows this, like understands what those blockages are. And one of the blockages is, am I breathing right? Like, am I doing it right? Am I, breathing from like my gut, my diaphragm up to my chest and then going out? And so, and I've just decided that that's just going to be part of my normal chatter at the beginning of breath work. And that's okay because you coach us through it. Like you seriously coach us through it. And it's like, I just need you to just focus on this and let it come. And it will like you do get into a rhythm of breathing. Like at first, yeah, you've got those like thoughts of I'm not doing this right. This is not going to happen. Like I still say that I'm like, this is not going to happen. I'm not going to get a breakthrough. All of those like those doubts come up. And yet, I love how, you tell us to really like, listen to your voice, listen to the music and get lost in the music and to trust in that voice. And at first, you begin to trust Lisa's voice, right? Because she's coaching you through it. But then it kind of like shifts for me where I begin to like listen to my inner voice. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
that's beautiful. Yes. Yeah, because like we first have to overcome that emotional hurdle,
Yes.
like you said. And we, most of us function from that emotional state, like from our brain. Most of us, all we hear is that
Yeah.
chatter. So the music, focusing on the music and focusing on me distracts you, and then your brain will give up. It's bound to happen. It'll give up, it'll shut up. And that's when you are like, oh, now I hear myself. Oh. Yes. So it's
I
like
love it.
distracting your brain. It's acknowledging, yeah, it's here. Yeah, I'm gonna doubt myself. It's acknowledging and then refocusing yourself. And then, oh, this is where I want to be. I love that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the hurdles that you had to overcome. The next one you said was the tingling, the physical. What happens there, like while you're doing breath work?
Oh my gosh, it's like there are no words to describe that one. Like it's like, okay, so there's this tingling, okay? And there's like different reasons for that, which is why you do breath work laying down, okay? And taking those deep breaths in and deep breaths out. But like that tingling, it's seriously, it's kind of like, when your arm falls asleep or something like that. And this is probably the closest thing I can describe to what it is. It's like that kind of tingling that just overcomes your whole body. And how I like to envision it when that happens is it's just like all my cells are just vibrating. They're just vibrating and just
Ooh.
like kind of like breaking up those blockages, you know, just breaking it up those like through vibration and just like releasing it. And I mean, I've only done it 3 times, but at first I'm like, something's wrong. This is not right. This
Yeah.
shouldn't be happening. So if you're thinking that, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Again,
telling you,
it's
it's
the
okay.
emotional, the brain trying to stop you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You just get through it. And it kind of does start with my head. And what was something else that was so fascinating? I mention this, is that at some point of this breath work, and actually it's happened twice in the last 2 breath works, it's like at one point I seriously felt like somebody was holding my face. Like it was just like they were cupping like my face, like embracing my face. And oh, I know that sounds so crazy, but it was just so much love. And it's like I just submit myself. I just surrender myself to that energy and let it lead my arms or my hands to do whatever. Like seriously, my arms, like I said, went up in front of me and out in front of me. And I just let it. I didn't question it. And of course, your brain is going to question that, like, this is
Mhm.
crazy. You're possessed. Yes, you are possessed by a spirit, a divine spirit within you that wants to tell you something. That is what you are possessed by. And so it's just also that's another hurdle of like, no, nothing's gone wrong. Like, I
Yeah.
trust Elisa. This makes sense. It's okay.
And I'll explain why the tingling happens. And
Yeah.
it's because of the energy flowing through. You're finally allowing, and I love how you described it. It's your cells um transforming that negative energy, the blockages into positive energy.
I
So yeah,
love
it
that.
is
Oh,
something that people
so
don't
good.
know, that we don't. How many of us stop and pay attention to our bodies? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Most of us just go through the day and not wake up and don't stop until we're done. I do this and I'm a coach. Like, I mean, come on. We don't take time to slow down and listen to our bodies. So the moment we do, we freak out. That's the
Yeah.
first thing. And our body starts freaking out when we are flowing. And this is, we are meant to be flowing beings. So, yes, it'll be scary. That's why
So
your
good.
physical hurdle is one of the things we need to overcome through breath work, in while we're doing breath work, to receive that breakthrough, to let go. And it is
Oh,
just the body processing and finally flowing the energy through your entire body. And people get different reactions to it. And it is just sometimes it manifests in your head, your hands. It is just where each body part holds on to emotions. So it is
hmm.
just what you are familiar with, like what you're usually holding on to. If it's resentment, fear,
Mm.
confusion, guilt, it is all depending on what you typically hold on to, where you will feel it in your body. So that's one thing. So the next hurdle that you spoke about was emotions. And you said, don't wear makeup because you're going to cry. And yes, I tell people when they buy tickets to come to my breath work, like, don't wear makeup because you're going to cry. Emotions are going to come out because that's what we're doing. We're letting go of emotions that are coming out. And tears are a way of cleansing your eyes and letting go. So if you're wearing makeup, it's going to like burn and affect your like your experience. So tell me a little bit about that, about the emotions, that what happened while
Yeah.
letting go and allowing those emotions to float up, whatever those were.
Yeah. The emotion. first of all, just I felt like came really deep within me, like it was a deep-seated emotion that was coming up. And it was this deep feeling of grief and loss, you know? But and at the same time, it was like this mixture of grief and loss and letting go from a place of love. Like,
Mhm.
I was allowing myself to go through this grief from a place of love. I was allowing myself to go through this loss from a place of love. And so, like, the underlying emotion through all of this was love.
Mhm.
And because of love, I was able to just let all of this go and to also to say I'm sorry, from a deep-seated place and to not question it, just to, like, let yourself just be in that flow like you were saying. And so once I did that, it was just this afterwards, it was a feeling of just, like, peace and contentment.
Mm. Yeah. How I have you guys do a CO2 dump at the end,
Mhm.
like where you get to grab a pillow and scream and get release any remainder of like blockages or anything that you were holding on to. How was that for you? Like good, like
Yes.
how was that?
That was okay, so I love that you have us do that, and so what she does is she has you, like, have a pillow so that you can put it over your mouth and, like, scream to your heart's content. And actually, mine came actually before you asked it. Like, it just came from deep within me, and I could tell it was coming up, like, I can almost see it wanting to come up, and at first I'm like, "No, no, 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 I don't think I should do that, I don't think I should do that, I don't know, I should wait until Lisa tells me to do it," you know? But it's like, "No, I this it's coming up and I can't stop it," and I just, like just it wasn't more so much of a screaming, but it was just, like, this, like, verbal sobbing, instead of,
Mm,
like, crying, like, in a corner, it was like I was, like, crying outwardly and saying how sorry I was. It was like I was just and so a and so, yeah, that was kind of like my CO2 dump is I was just not necessarily scream, but just, like, sobbing, like, I would take
mm,
a breath in, and then I would just, like, sob out this sound, you know? And so that was so releasing because it's like you're releasing that bit of last energy, right? That little bit of, like,
yes.
negative energy. So I love that.
Yes, I love finishing our sessions with that because it's giving you permission to yell everything and cry
Yes.
it out because we hold on to so much.
We don't do that.
How many times have we wanted to cry and we didn't?
Yeah,
Throughout your entire life, how many times? So
so
during that
many.
those seconds, I give you permission to just let it all out, and it is so freeing. And it's like, oh my gosh, finally. And it's just giving yourself permission to do it. For
Mhm.
me, it was the first time I did it. It was like a lamentation. It was like, oh my gosh, of all the
Mm.
times that I held it in, that I bit my tongue and didn't say what I wanted to say. It was my way of saying, now it's my turn. Now
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
going to hold back.
yeah.
Um, so that's I love finishing the breathwork session with that because it's like
I do too.
and what I love that you're like that you told that like for you is like no I'm gonna hold it back and one thing that I tell everyone is like the worst thing you can do in breath work is when an emotion comes up is push it back down like you've been doing for the last 20, 30, 40 years, right? Like it is, this is an opportunity to let it out. Your body's releasing it, let it out. And
Yeah,
sometimes it's laughing. Sometimes it's like you're so happy because, and you just want to laugh. And sometimes it's like crying. Sometimes it's yelling. Sometimes it's saying, I'm
yeah,
sorry. Like,
yeah.
and that's why breath work, it's every time you do it, it'll be different.
I
Every
know, and
single
that
time.
I think that's what is so fascinating is it's like, "What's gonna come up for me today?" What am I holding back? What is it? Where is my blind spot? Because we can't see our blind spots.
Nope.
We don't know what we don't know. And so that's what makes it so much fun. I love it.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, do you have any other questions for me before we tell our listeners where they need to find you?
Um, no, so like if you could summarize it, what was like what is it like now to have breath work in your life?
Okay, let me tell you. I am able to I'm able to process my emotions more quickly. All right. Meaning that I I look at it, I feel it, and then I find the wisdom in it. Just it's very organic. I don't force it. I find the wisdom in it and I actually submit myself to the wisdom. And what that means is that there is an underlying truth once you get through the emotion, all right? We a lot of times we just stop at the emotion, we never get into the truth of the wisdom. So I'm able to find the wisdom. I'm also able to really manage my brain, not out of fear that I'm going to feel something. It's that I am able to recognize a little more clearly the narrative, the negative narrative of my brain. And so one of the negative narrative of my brain is thinking, oh, worst case scenario. Okay. Like for instance, my second car got considered totaled by my insurance. And I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding me. Right. But then I'm like, but wait, what? How could this quote unquote worst case scenario be the best case scenario for me? And so I'm able to like turn things around in such a quicker way. Like I'm not holding on to the negative energy as often. And I'm not holding on to the negative energy as intensely. I'm not married to it. So that's another thing. And then another thing is that I am finding I feel like as I'm getting closer and closer to my frequency, my like divine frequency, that it's changing my physiology, it's changing like my body, where I'm able to like, okay, there's something going on. There's something I need to do. And a lot of times I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do that. That just does not feel good. But I'm able to like sit in that what I call the pain. Okay. And it's really not pain. It's like, no, I'm just afraid or I'm just frustrated or I'm whatever. But I'm able to face it and walk through it. And
Mm.
it's like, it's fine. Right? Like it's not a big deal. I just let that go, and invite positive energy. And so I'm seeing like shifts in my thinking. I'm seeing shifts in my feeling. I'm seeing shifts in how I process whatever is in front of me from such a more empowering place instead of a controlling place.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
those have been
That's
like,
amazing.
and I can't wait for our next one.
Yes. So yeah, that's pretty much what breath work is it's confronting your emotional barriers, your physical barriers, and your mental barriers that we face on a regular basis, but
Yeah.
you are purposely putting yourself through it in for
Yeah.
30 minutes so you
Yeah.
can get your breakthrough. So during the day when you do your life, it becomes easier to,
It
oh, what am I
is.
to confront the physical, the emotional, and the mental barriers on a daily basis, like on a day to
Oh
day, like,
yeah.
so yeah, that's what it
I
is.
love it. Yeah, you just feel lighter and you're like, "Oh, that's
Yes.
nothing. I just did a 30-minute breathwork session. Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Really? It's fine."
Yes, it is that
I love it.
powerful.
All right, so how can your people and my people and the rest of the universe find you so that they can hire you? I don't know. Are you still
Oh,
hiring for one-on-one or not? Are you full?
yes. No, not yet.
Oh,
So
no. You
so
guys,
hurry,
get
hurry,
in
and
now.
yes, and my prices will go up um in the middle of the year. So it's
Oh.
now is your chance to take advantage of my one-on-one coaching and breath work as well. You'll get both coaching and breath work weekly, and you'll have me as your coach throughout the week as well. We get to have
I love
Voxer
it.
and talk to each other through Voxer. So you get support throughout the day whenever things come up. And I love that. I love offering that constant support because when we're going through changes, you need that. You need like the accountability and you need that support. So that's what I offer. It's a one-on-one coaching program for 12 weeks with breath work included. And it's $4,000, which is a steal because
It's
I
a
am a
total steal.
$10,000 coach giving
Yes,
you
you are.
so much value. So
I love it. This is so awesome. And so
oh
I'll make
yeah, and
sure
they
that
can
I
find me
have
on Instagram or
yes.
Facebook, Elisa
Yeah.
Fucci Coaching, and that's like Gucci but with an F. There you go. You'll never forget my name now. Click on the
I
link in my
love it.
bio and you can apply for private coaching. You can check out when my next breathwork session is, which I'm doing it at the end of the month. And also, oh, can I share what I'm also offering? I'm
Do I
teaming
know
up
about
with,
this?
I'm
Okay,
teaming
okay.
up
Tell me, tell
with
me.
with my uh friend that's also a breathwork facilitator, Megan Windhorst, and we are doing a 3-day masterclass on self-love where
Oh,
we're going to heal the inner child, heal relationships. We're going to learn about body and self acceptance and limiting, like, and getting rid of limiting beliefs and self hate. So it's an intensive 3 days where you're going to learn all about self love and
oh
how
my
to
gosh.
finally heal. And we're going to do meditations. We're going to, and we might do some breath work. And we're giving
Oh,
we're having a giveaway. So you have to sign up. It's $222 and you get both of us coaching you for the 3 days. So
geez, are you
yeah.
kidding me? And when is this? When is this
This
masterclass being
is
held?
the 15th, 16th, and 17th of this month. So
Oh, I
gift
love it.
yourself instead of having Valentine's and going out to have dinner and getting
Oh, you can
yourself
have
or
that
getting
too.
someone
And you can have Elisa.
whatever you are, yeah, right. But like this will have an impact in your life and
Yes.
long lasting results in how you view yourself and how you uh, interact in your relationships, starting with the relationship you have with yourself.
I love it. Thank you so much, Elisa, for getting on here. And I'm just so grateful for both of our platforms where we can share this technique, this practice that I just feel like we all need to do,
Right, I know.
right?
I want everyone
Yeah,
to experience
I
it.
know. And so if any of you are not sure if this is a right fit, like seriously, go check out Elisa's handle. Okay. And I will also put it in my own in the show notes as well. But go check her out. Go stalk her. Like go and see if she's really legit. And then give yourself an opportunity to try this breathwork session and see if you don't have a breakthrough, that will begin to just shift how you show up in all areas of your life. So, all right. Thank you so much, Elisa. I will talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.